Hey, it's Dr. Dawn, and welcome to Mystical Monday. I am your host. I will be discussing some wonderful topics tonight. I am looking so forward to everyone coming in the chat tonight so we can chat it up, and we can get through this information and we can help enlighten, activate, and increase the awareness in each other. So, what we're going to do is we're going to let everybody have a chance to come on in the room. So, let's count it down. See you in a minute. Hello. It's Dr. Dawn. Hi, everybody. Hey. It's Mystical Monday. Thank you for joining me tonight. Hey, I'm back, and look at the people coming in the chat. Hello, everyone. Look. We got Natasha, we got Gustavo, Ayla, Patricia, Eduardo. Look at all y'all coming on in. Come on in the chat. I love Mystical Mondays. This is where I get the opportunity to not only share information with you guys, but I get to hear from you as it relates to your experiences, and we get to kind of collaborate with our information and talk about how this ascension process is affecting all of us and how we are all evolving in our own ways, and that there is no fast way, there is no better way, there's just our own individual way. And so tonight we're going to be talking about how we're all creating a new version of ourselves in this next part of our lives. And so, whether you realize it or not, the next part of your life is going to require a new version of you, another version of you, if you will. And so, let me look, peace and love to you too, as well. I'm talking to people in the chat, but you're going to have to realize that as we shift and we move into our new awareness and our new selves, it's going to require us to actually shift timelines. Okay. We're going to have to go to what's called parallel realities, if you will, right? We've been seeing things like that in the movies. Marvel does a wonderful job of doing that and creating that. But you guys do realize that the movies are not all fictional. Okay. There's some essence of truth in a lot of these movies, but it's just about you being in an awareness to be able to pick out and choose what truth resonates with you and what is fiction and entertainment. Okay. So tonight we're going to get into the new versions of you that are trying to come forward. I told you guys that in my journey right now, I know that I'm evolving and moving and working in a parallel reality because now my abilities and the information I'm getting and the spirit guides that I'm working with are different. You see, now I have a medical intuitive as one of my spirit guides, and I'm now in my sessions, I'm providing more medical insight and information because they're moving me along in that direction. And so now, you guys, when I do my sessions, a lot of times I see energy, right? So now I got to break the energy down because it could be internal energy. It could be energy outside of the person, meaning their auric field, or it could be energy that is associated with the divine beings that are communicating with me. So let me explain that to you, what I mean. So for me, I may see colors of the chakra system, okay? If I see red as it relates to within you, energy within you, it will usually symbolize like bleeding or blood, or, then the medical intuitive will start giving me information related to what this blood means and, so forth and so on. Or if I see energy outside of you, in your auric field that is red, it could mean, oh, this person is aggressive or has some aggression that they're withholding, or it could be that this person is going through and enduring something that requires them to be strong and have increased strength and energy and passion. Or if I see red further outside of your auric field, it could symbolize seraphims. You guys know what seraphims are, right? They're celestial or heavenly beings. Those are beings that communicate with me as well. So, depending on where I'm seeing the colors, inside of you, outside of you, in the perimeter of you, it means different things for me now. So you're probably going, okay, Dawn, well, wait a minute. It didn't always mean different things. No, my team is taking me in stages. So initially, I learned auric fields. I learned auras, chakras. Okay. Okay. Then I moved into divine beings and the essence of communicating beyond the veil and how the colors are associated with different energies that represent different beings. Okay, now I'm getting into the colors inside of you, and I see them inside of you and what in different places, what they symbolize. So, look, we are creating newer versions of ourselves. And so, this is a newer version for me because I'm already doing this in a parallel reality or on a parallel timeline. I've already had this ability. Well, I can do more than this in the parallel reality, but this reality right here, I'm catching up to it. You see what I mean? So sometimes I have to visit the parallel realities to get an awareness and understanding and insight into what's happening to me here. So I gave you guys that elaborate example as a point of reference because that's what you all are doing. I gave you a reference as it relates to me and what I do with energy, but it's happening with you guys as well. You are going back and forth receiving information from parallel realities that you're using and incorporating here in this lifetime. Okay. Now, mine was pretty simple, right? I just brought up energy because that's kind of what I work with all the time. You guys may be picking up things that relate to particular feelings that you're having in regards to relationships or abilities that you have as it relates to your career or work. You're maybe enhancing or getting insight into ways to expand yourself, be it in your career or your personal life, but you're actually tapping into yourself in a parallel reality. The multiverse as we know it. I don't know why that just came to me, but we call it the multiverse because y'all, that's real. Don't let Marvel make you think it's pretend. It's not. It's real. The multiverse is real. And so we're usually transferring our consciousness to a new experience. In order to shift to a parallel reality, you have to transfer your consciousness to a new experience. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing it intentionally. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you saw me last week. I showed you all a video one day of me laying on my couch, intentionally going into my dream state. That's what I call it. But I'm going to them parallel realities, y'all. I'm going and I'm visiting and I'm getting a little insight and information and intel, and I'm bringing it back here. I do that intentionally. I that particular week, I picked Tuesday to do it, but I'm doing it all the time. All the time. There is no rhyme or reason when I do it. If I feel the need and the urge to do it, I do it. So when you jump to a new timeline, um, you're one shift away, you guys, one shift away from changing your entire life. Just me incorporating that piece of information that I told you guys now as it relates to now interpreting energy from inside the human being and working with the medical intuitive has changed and shifted my whole life and my awareness. Why? Because now I have more insight into my own physical well-being and what's going on inside of me based on the signs, symbols, cues, and explanations I'm getting for energy that I'm seeing within my own body. So it's shifting shifting me and my reality to a new awareness. Natasha says, "Oh, cool." She says, "This is cool, right?" Oneness says, "Been drawing the biofield and aura for almost a month now on how these truly get activated." Amazing. Absolutely. You know, somebody asked me in a session, how do I activate um my sixth and seventh, my chakras be in the sixth and seventh chakra, and how do I do this and how do I do that? And I have to tell you guys, literally everything that comes as it relates to spiritual insight and awareness, I know that you can go on YouTube or Google and you could type it in and get step by step approaches to do things. But I always tell people it's individually based. How my chakras and awareness were activated is not going to be the same as the next person or the next person or the next person. So I literally, you guys, literally set the intention to ask the questions that I am seeking guidance and awareness about to my team, and I let them guide me. I let them guide me on how best to activate whatever it is that I was trying to activate in that moment. Okay. And sometimes they'll tell you, wait a minute, it ain't time yet. We're going to get to that. Like, as humans, we feel like we're getting left behind if we're not doing what the next person is doing. And sometimes your team is going, well, not yet. We going there, we're headed there, but we got to do this and this and this first before we get you to that. Or when you get to that, it ain't going to make sense. So they say, okay, follow what we're doing, follow the guidance. So just remember that when you're actively seeking to try to activate your abilities. I never would have in my journey said, oh, how do I get to tap into a medical intuitive and get more insight medically into what's happening with people? Like, I didn't ask that. I didn't ask for that. I didn't. But it was the next step on the blueprint of my life path for me to have activated and for me to utilize. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes you don't even know, or you're not tapped into the plan all the way. You have to literally flow into it, flow and allow it to guide you where and when you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to be, and get what it is that you need in that moment. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for your comments. Good, good, good. Now, I want you guys to actively choose the version you're trying to manifest and focus on it. Let me tell you what that means, because we're shifting timelines, right? So, the way that I chose the newer version that I'm trying to manifest is I said, spirit, higher self, divine beings of light, I am an intuitive guide and spiritual messenger. Help me or assist me or guide me or show me all of the resources, abilities, and insight that I need to help me to do this effectively, to do this at the highest divine level that I can. And they said, okay, here we go. And so they started activating within me an awareness each step by step by step by step as I was going, as they felt I was ready for it, to assist me with what the version of myself I'm trying to manifest. Okay. Now, you don't have to go as flamboyant and as I did. Make me the best intuitive guide and spiritual messenger there is. You could say, look, help me to create the best healthy version of myself as possible. Show me, guide me all the steps that I need to go through to have the best physical or mental or spiritual me that there is. And then they will. They're going to start going through it one by one by one by one by one. Okay. So ask yourself, you guys got to ask yourself. This is how you get started, because I want you guys to understand manifesting and creating the new version of yourself is intentional. It is intentional. Some people say, oh, I'm shifting timelines. I'm shifting timelines and I don't know it. Yeah, you're going to know it because you're actively creating the shift. You're co-creating it. And so by co-creating it, you have to have some input in it. All right. Because you want to shift up, right? You want to shift to the best version of yourself. You don't want to go back to that old version, right? So the first thing we're gonna do, and I should have did this like a PowerPoint presentation in case y'all wanted to take some notes, right? Because this is I don't usually do step one, step two, step three, because I don't get into that, but I'm gonna do it like that. So the first thing we want to do is we want to create a clear vision of what we're trying to create or manifest. I'm gonna use the word manifest because that's the buzzword. Everybody like to hear manifest, right? So let's create a clear vision of what we want to create or manifest, okay? Because you're actually going to be altering your consciousness. You can't go to this parallel reality if you don't alter your consciousness. You can't be in the same state of consciousness and go to a parallel state of being. You just can't do it. So we got to tap into your subconscious. Don't we love the subconscious? Because there's so much stuff there that we just don't pay attention to and we don't know about. It's just sitting there, just waiting for us to do something with it. Okay. So we're going to tap into our subconscious. And I want you to ask yourself, what would my life look like if I was totally fulfilled? What would it look like? If you were totally fulfilled, what would your life look like? Now, let me tell you something. Ask it, and I told y'all this before. I told y'all to talk to yourself. Remember, I said get used to and comfortable with talking to yourself, because the more comfortable you get with talking to yourself, you're going to realize you're talking to your higher self, your spirit team, and then you're going to start bringing some stuff on in. Well, guess what? Asking yourself questions works well with helping you to what? Shift and jump to a new timeline. The more questions you ask, the more doors and awareness you opening to shifting and moving you and jumping you on that timeline. So the first question I want you to ask yourself when you're getting ready to alter your consciousness is, what would my life look like if I were totally fulfilled? What would it look like? What would it look like? Do you even know what it looks like? Have you taken the time to sit and to see what it looks like and feel what it looks like? See, because you can't shift to the parallel reality if you don't know what you're shifting to, because you ain't gonna know when you get there. If you haven't kind of mapped it out in your consciousness, what this would feel and look like to you. So I want you to sit with yourself. Now, I tell you guys, we're gonna meditate in our own unique ways. We're not going to do it the way we've been programmed to do it and think that's the only way to do it. Now you can do mantras, you can sit with the frequency music, you can do guided meditation, you can do whatever you need to get to your place where you are still and connected. Mine is in my dream state, y'all. I lay down and get real good into it under them covers and intentionally say, okay, let's get to it. Let me see what it's going to look like. What is it going to look like if I'm fulfilled? What is it going to feel like? That's first and foremost. I'm going to ask myself that question, and I'm going to ask myself some other questions. Where would I want to be in life? Who do I want to be in my life? How do I want to feel? How do I want to look? Let's get all into that. What do I want to look like to be fulfilled? Like, get all into the questions. Ask yourself questions when you sit still with yourself. That's first and foremost. Now, next thing we're going to do is prepare our mind and body for the shift, because you got to prepare. You can't just sit down and say, okay, I'm going to sit down. I'm getting ready to see what it's going to be like to win this lottery, what life going to be like afterwards, and boom, there it goes. No. Let's get ourselves ready and calm. Let's get into a state of being where we are still. I call it the dream state. Some people call it the meditative state. I want you guys to create some shifting affirmations. For example, if you are looking to, sometimes I do, ladies, we get 50, you get over 50, you look in that mirror, you go, oh, child, Father Time is coming. He's coming. But guess what? I sit there and I go, I say things like, I have reversed my age. That's what I say. I have reversed my age. Or, oh, I am the weight out, the weight that I want to be. Or, oh, I'm feeling as full and as happy as I ever have been or ever want to be. Baby, I got all these affirmations going. See, you sitting with yourself, you preparing your mind and body for the shift. So you are actually speaking and talking yourself into it. Now, remember what I told you right before that. Step one, we're going to ask questions. We got to ask questions. So we get the questions out. Then we follow the questions out with some calming affirmations, some calming and assertive affirmations, because we're bringing it, we're showing it, we're bringing it, and you're not speaking anything that is not already in existence for you in your parallel reality. Do y'all understand that? You can't speak what doesn't already exist. So if you say, oh, I'm reversing my age, or oh, I am as wealthy, financially wealthy as I ever could be, you're already doing it. You're already doing it on another in a parallel reality. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to speak it. Do you understand that? You're speaking your truth in your parallel reality. So people think when they're saying affirmations like, oh, you're just making them up. No, you're not making them up. You are coordinating yourself in this reality with the parallel one. You are, because that's what already exists. Okay, baby, I done reverse my age about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. I reverse it on the daily. On the daily, so much so my husband will walk in and say, now where are you today? I'd be like, what you mean? He'd be like, how old are you today? I say, how old do I look? And see, that's a loaded question, because he's trained now. He kind of knows you don't look any older from the day I met you. That's his line. Stay right there. Stay in it, because he don't know where I'm at in that moment. So that's his phrase. You stay in that phrase. And he met me when I was 19. So that's what he's supposed to say. Stay right there. So I'm shifting the reality. See, because look, nobody told us that we had to age. Do y'all get that? Do y'all get that that was a conditioned belief that was programmed in us, that we age? Nobody said you had to age. Nobody said that. But we believed that was part of the system, that was part of the program. So we adopted it collectively, and so it is. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Not over here. No, no, no. What you feel and you accept internally will radiate externally, baby. Will radiate externally. All right. So, look, number 2, we're preparing our mind and our body for the shift. Now, remember, number 1, we're creating a clear vision. We're creating a clear vision of what we want to manifest or create. Come on, y'all. We're going to shift, because I'm telling y'all this because, look, February 29th, leap year is going to mean something different for y'all this time. Y'all know we had leap years in the past, but that was under a different frequency. We're on a whole new frequency now, and we're in a whole new place of awareness. And baby, on February 29th, this month, we're going to leap. I'm trying to get y'all there. We're going to shift to this parallel reality. We're going to jump. If we don't jump before February 29th, but February 29th, honey, we're going to be in that. We're going to shift to that multiverse. And y'all gonna do like I do and go in and get what you need. Come on out, come back here. We're gonna keep doing that for a while, for some years in our lifetime, until we just totally jump on over there, right? But for now, we're going back and forth. We're learning how to go back and forth, and that's okay, because our consciousness, as we shift our consciousness and we get more comfortable and we get more fluent with going in and out these parallel realities, y'all gonna realize you just gonna end up being there for good. But it's okay. We're going back and forth now, right? Okay. So prepare your mind and body for the shift. And we're going to do that. And we're going to say our affirmations, and we're going to do things of that nature. Now, this is what I want you guys to do. When you are intentionally creating your shift and your consciousness to your parallel reality, sometimes, no, not sometimes, every time, I want you to do it in a state of stillness. Now, I told you guys I do it in a dream state. A lot of people do it in a meditative state. However you want to do it, do it. For now, this is how we're doing it. We're going to get so good that you ain't got to do all that. You can be in your waking state and just go in and out, back and forth, which most of us kind of do. I do that a little bit, but when I really want to get intentional and I really want to get some information and I really want to get some insight, I got to get somewhere and sit down. I got to get somewhere and sit down and do these steps that I'm telling you guys. And so when you're doing this, sometimes things that you may experience while you're doing this shifting back and forth to these parallel realities, you may feel like you're floating, Baby, I'll be in that dream. I'll be floating away. And if you're not in your dream state and you're sitting, you still may feel like you're floating. You may feel light. Okay. You may feel tingling. You may feel sweating. You may feel itchiness in your skin or your scalp. Or you may have a change in your heart rate. Your heart rate may start beating a little bit quicker. Baby, you're shifting, you're going to that parallel reality. Okay. And it's affecting the physical part of you. Okay. And so sometimes I told you guys when I'm getting information now, since I'm working with the medical intuitive and they're teaching and showing me things in the parallel reality that I'm bringing here, sometimes I will get a tingling in the part of my body that they are working on showing me and guiding me in the parallel reality, if that makes sense. Okay. So just know you may have these different feelings that you're having while you're connecting and moving and jumping in these realities. Okay, let me bring some things up. Okay, so Eduardo says, do you have the same spirit guides in all realities? Okay, good question, Eduardo. So here's the thing. When I am in my parallel reality, I'm being joined by my guides here. My guides here are the ones that are guiding, directing, and assisting me in that parallel reality and version of me. So I'm going to say you may have different versions or different guides in that reality, but when you're guided and you're going in and out through a guided kind of jump, it's the guides that are assisting you here that are helping you there, if that makes sense. I guess I hope that answers your questions. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad that answered you. Um. All right. Blessings to you as well. Ha ha. All right. Next. So we have created or visualized kind of what we're attending or what we're wanting, right, to fulfill with our manifestation. We're getting our body right and our spirit ready, and so now we're going to create a visualization of this new us, this new you in your new reality. Now, I'm talking y'all through this because you're going to be doing this slowly but surely. I want you to see yourself through the eyes, okay, through your new set of eyes in your new reality. So if it's almost like you're watching yourself in a movie or a play. I do that a lot. When I am in my dream state, or even when I'm in my waking state, I daydream a lot, and I will see myself um, in places that I know are my parallel reality. Like I've seen myself, walking along the beach or helping people in like large forums where they're coming up to me and, working with other like beings. And, I can see it. I can visualize it in my mind's eye through the form of like a movie, so to speak. So the next thing you're going to do when you guys are jumping and shifting into your parallel realities is you're going to visualize yourself there. Visualize yourself already there. You're going to think you're visualizing, but you're actually propelling yourself into that reality in that moment. But it's going to seem like it's a movie, like it's pretend, like you're making it up, like it's not happening, but you're actually going to be in that new reality. Now, parallel shifts can be very subtle for some people. Like, let me tell you. So let's go back to me and my example I gave you guys in the beginning about the energy. At first, before I started working with the medical intuitive, and I knew I was shifting to that new reality of now giving medical insight and information, working with this new guide in the spiritual realm, I would get little nudges or little visions of, like, one time I thought it was a dream, but it was a person having surgery and I didn't know the person. I was watching the surgery and I was like, oh, what is this about? Like, that's weird. And I didn't think anything of it, but it was little things like that that were leading up to me getting this connection with this spirit guide that was a medical intuitive. So it's little things like that. So you guys may get little insights and it doesn't make sense to you. But those are the nudges that you're shifting. And it's giving you some clues into what you're shifting to. Let's see. So Korean says, and when I feel those feelings, that's when I stop with my meditations because I'm scared. And this is a fear I am working on letting go of because deep down, I know that's when I'm about to transcend. Oh, okay. So you were talking about those feelings I mentioned of like you're floating, like you're tingling, sweating, itchiness. Um, I I know that the normal human reaction is to be afraid because it's unfamiliar to you and it's not something that is done regularly. So your human self goes panic, panic, warning, warning, unfamiliar activity and feeling, and it gets nervous. What I can tell you is everything we talked about is perspective. And so when you go into this meditative state and you are intentionally seeking guidance and awareness, you have to intentionally expect or create an awareness that you're going to get a response to your request. And it may come in the form of those different feelings. So if you go in expecting to get some response back out of it, what are you afraid of? You can't be afraid then because you should feel comfortable and confident that you are connected in what you are seeking. That's all it is an awareness for you to know that energetically you're aligned with what you requested. We get so afraid in any modality that the spiritual realm chooses to connect with us. We definitely, most people get afraid when they hear something. If you hear a voice, most people get afraid if they see something because you're not used to seeing things. So now, as the example she gave, people get nervous when they feel things. So then, look, if you're nervous with every mode and modality of communication from the spiritual realm, how do you expect to connect and to move and shift into this parallel reality without some type of feedback that is given to you physically with this avatar? You have to expect that. So when you expect it, it takes the fear out of it because you're looking for it. Now you're like, okay, I'm going to feel something. I'm going to see something. I'm going to hear something. Give it to me. I'm waiting. Then you change that fear to anxiousness or into excitement, I should say. That changes the game. Dr. Dawn, we love you so. Aw. Dawn, Dr. Dawn, we love you so much. Can you speak on psychic surgery done on us by our spirit guides? Well, you know what? Here's the thing. To talk about psychic surgery in general is not much to say, but when people have individual psychic surgeries done by their spirit guides based on their past life experiences or their soul imprints or their gifts and abilities that are being activated for them to do here, it's very individual. So all I'm going to tell you as it relates to that is psychic surgery can be done to assist and enhance your awareness and increase your spiritual gifts and abilities to do what it is that is needed for you to do in that moment, be it healing yourself from something or to assist someone that's in your energy field and awareness or that someone that is coming. So just know that much. We get into specifics, we'd have to get into the person specifically. Okay. I think this came up before. Can you talk to us about the spiritual purpose and journey of someone with severe autism from the perspective of both the autistic soul and the family into which they are born? That is a very loaded question. Very, very loaded question. I'm going to tell you this as it relates to starseeds who are diagnosed as autistic. A lot of times they are diagnosed as autistic because they have not grounded to this earthly experience well coming through the portal to get here. Their frequencies don't align with ours, and their body, their physical body, is having some difficulty adapting and connecting to this earthly realm. And so sometimes, based on that difficulty, they have more difficulty that they're having, the more severe they come out and look in terms of the autism. So it's not autism. It really is difficulty adjusting to the frequency here on this planet. And when we look at it from that perspective, autistic children don't look like children who are special needs or special or different. They look as if they are the powerhouses, honey. They are the superheroes of the planet, really. When we move into that awareness of what it actually is. You said the family into which they are born. Well, most of the time they come into a family where there are beings that are not aware or connected to the spiritual realm. Usually the parents are kind of not all the time in the awareness. At least one of them isn't. Usually one is and one isn't. And so usually they're coming to assist those parents evolve as well in this lifetime in terms of them getting connected to the connection to the spiritual and the outside realm and this physical realm. So it's like it's so many dynamics when we talk about an autistic soul and their soul family. Again, these are not general questions. These are specific to the beings and the families that they incarnated to as it relates to their soul imprints and their lifetime after lifetime experiences. But make no mistake, an autistic child is just having difficulty grounding to this earth frequency. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's why a lot of their modes to assist them with communicating and adapting are based on sensory things, getting them used to touch and feel and things that have to do with this earth avatar, this human avatar, because they're not used to this. So they have to have all of these sensory integrations to help them to get really used to and comfortable to our sensory system. Yeah. But they're coming through it now. It seems like in this frequency, they're kind of moving through it a lot on their own without a lot of intervention. They're a little late starters as it relates to speaking and doing things in their younger ages. But as we're seeing now versus in the past, not that they're growing out of it, but they're adapting and connecting and kind of assimilating on their own more now without a lot of intervention. So I have to believe that's because the frequency as a whole on this planet has shot up since in previous times. Okay, what else we got? Haley says, I struggled with panic attacks for a decade, and I'm realizing what it really is now, and I'm not dying at all. My awakening definitely slowed them down. Excellent. Glad that you were brought to an awareness that you weren't dying, that you too were adjusting to some things that were happening to you as you evolved. Good. Panic attacks are one of the more common things that we're seeing as it relates to people having experiences related to their evolving and stepping into their awareness. I love it. Okay. All right. You guys are giving some good questions. Okay. In this new reality, you guys, I want you guys to start. Okay, so we visualized, right? We did our visualizations of our new reality because I do that all the time, honey. What my new reality gonna look like? And so we're watching ourselves on the video, right, in our new reality. And so now we're going to instruct our mind and our body that it is now, like now is the time to be in this new reality. And we're going to open our eyes to a whole new reality. It's almost like you have to tell yourself, I have shifted and I have merged into the new reality. Now, for me, and the example I gave you guys, working with the medical intuitive and now being more insightful into medical energies that symbolize medical things that are happening with people. I now realize I have shifted into that new reality because I can't turn it off. Now it's a part of me. Now I've instructed my mind and body. Okay, I got the awareness of what I'm supposed to be doing with this. I got the insight into my resources now that I have in this parallel reality that I'm going to go get when I need it. And so now it's time for me to execute this new reality of being more medically in tuned to these bodies now as we're evolving, because I have shifted and merged into my new reality. I have instructed myself of that. I've instructed my mind and body. I am in my new reality of providing this new service to assist the beings as we evolve physically. I've shifted. You see, I have shifted into that part of my parallel reality where I'm already doing that. I'm already doing it. And so I'm now shifted into that. Yeah, I'm doing a whole lot of stuff in my parallel reality that I ain't got to yet. I haven't gotten to it yet. I can see it's coming though. They showed it to me. They gave me a little snapshot and I said, "Ooh, wait a minute." So I'm shifting slowly but surely. Remember, I told you guys the shift will be subtle. It'll be little subtle things. Okay, now I'm aware of this. Now I'm doing that. Okay, now I can see this. Now I can do that. So you know you're shifting and you're moving. Oh, I got this new information today. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't have that before. Okay, now I'm shifting. It's subtle. It's very subtle. And then when it gets to be where you've accumulated enough of those little small little nuggets and that subtle stuff, then you see the big picture. Like, okay, now I'm incorporating medical information. I didn't get that at first. Remember, you guys, I told you it started with me having a dream of watching somebody have an operation. And I'm like, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? It started there and then it evolved to my new guide that has come and taking me in my parallel reality and showing me different things and insight, giving me the vision of what I want to see myself doing with this in the time to come, instructing my mind and body. Now I'm ready. Let's do it. So I've shifted. Y'all see? So in my new reality, I always receive the best outcomes. That's the key. When you're shifting to a parallel reality, it's no more of, ooh, I hope that this turns out right, or ooh, I hope this works, or ooh, I hope. It's none of that. It's none of that. You will always get the best outcome in your new reality. So let's say an example of that would be, let's say I gave somebody information that wasn't quite accurate as it relates to their medical information. So the information I gave may not pertain to medical information that is happening in their life in that moment, but it could be something that's preventative that could assist in something that may formulate down the road. So it's still the best outcome. You see what I'm saying? So that was an example of how when you shift to the new reality, you're always going to receive the best outcomes. That was a good example. That was a good example of that, because it's your new reality, baby. We don't have all that negativity, lower vibrational, bad, scary, fearful stuff in our parallel reality. We don't have that. We don't have that in the multiverse. We don't. So just understand that based on what you're setting up for your fulfilled life. Come on, y'all, because y'all got to start getting into it now. You got to become an active participant. A lot of you are sitting around waiting on, a lot of people are waiting on beings to come down and show themselves. A lot of people are waiting on like activations to happen. They're sitting around or doing different videos trying to make activations happen. A lot of people, like, y'all are not intentionally saying, okay, I'm ready to get into this next step. I'm ready to see, view, and participate in my parallel reality because I now understand and I'm aware that it exists. You see? And I want to play. I want to play now in both. I want to use it to assist me here. Let's start getting into that because look, creating the new version of you is up to you. Nobody is coming to do that for you. Nobody is assisting you in doing. You've got to start creating the new version of you because it's waiting. The new version of you is waiting. When I saw myself in my parallel reality, I said, girl, where were you? Where was you at 10, 15 years ago? Baby, and that new, and she said, what you talking about 10, 15 years? What that mean? What does 10, 15 years mean? I said, oops, I forgot. I'm in the parallel multiverse. Y'all don't know nothing about years. Know nothing about that. You're in the moment. In the moment. So then that brought me back to the moment. See? Brought me back to my awareness of what I told y'all in the beginning. I have reversed aging. Because see, now I'm in an awareness. I'm just in the moment. It's no older, it's no younger. It's just now. It's the moment. The moment. Okay? Questions. Any more questions? Ooh-wee. Let's get to these new versions, y'all, because I'm ready. February 29th. What day is February 29th on? Oh, it's on a Thursday too. I'm gonna give me a whole day ritual going, baby, because I'm gonna enjoy this shift and this jump. Maybe I need to do some live that day. I don't know. We gotta see. Let's see. Haley says, you just said what a voice just now told me. The more you're ready to leave the planet and move on to the next, the harder the life will seem. You can't wait for it to come. Go to it. Oh, I couldn't have said it better, Haley. Could not have said it better. And so many people are waiting. So many people are waiting. People like, when the ship's coming, when they gonna show themselves, when they this, when they that. And baby, you look, that's all up to you. That is all up to you. What consciousness, what reality are you in? What reality are you in? Because obviously the one you're in is not producing what you need. So get to the net, get to a parallel one that works with what it is that you're trying to see and do, because it exists. You see? Barbara says, I'm so glad I'm hearing you say this, because I do the movie thing in my mind all the time of what I want life to look like. Absolutely. You're being guided. You're being guided to do that. That movie thing is you visualizing and creating your parallel reality and what it looks like and where you want to jump to. And your subconsciousness is coming forward to help you to do that. To help you to do this. Saying, come on, it's go time. Ready, set, go. Let's jump. But the message now for the beings on this planet is you gotta actively jump. Stop waiting. Who you waiting on? I laugh all the time. I love my baby, my King Cash, my baby. He waiting on them aliens. Cash is, baby. I hope he wants them to knock on his door and tell him we here, we here. And I keep trying to tell him. I keep trying to show him you can see them anytime you want to, anytime you want to. But he's in this physical, earthly reality, and he's going by our earthly rules of you see humans in these avatars every day. So you want to see the aliens in their avatar in front of you like you do the humans. And you can, if you create that. If you create that reality, you shall. You shall. But you got to put a little into it to create it. I received communication from a heavenly entity that you would be a mentor for my daughter, who will be a medical medium. You mentioning your medical intuitive spirit guide is another confirmation. All right, Mandy. Come on with it, honey. If that's what they said, you are not here by accident on this live or getting this information. You're always guided to where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, all the time. There have been people I've watched or listened to that made me cringe at the information they were saying because it was so out of alignment from where I was. But then I said, wait a minute, I'm here for a reason, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't something I needed to hear. So I listened again and I said, oh, I see. I see where we differ in our awareness. And that was the whole point. My spirit team was trying to show me how our experiences differed, which caused our outlooks to be and perspectives to be somewhat different. So I got it. I said, okay, thank you, team. Thank you for showing me or giving me insight. So even when you hear or around people you just don't agree with, don't align with, it's some reason you're there. It's something you're supposed to get for your growth. Um, Oh, you guys are talking about Cass. She was in your dream last night. I love it. Baby, he gonna see those aliens. You know why he's gonna see them? Because he's creating that. He's creating that reality to where he will. And he will. I tell him all the time, I'm not gonna see him because I don't want to see him. I don't care. It don't make me a difference if I see him or not. So I probably won't. I mean, because it just doesn't. But since he does, and that's part of his passion and purpose of why he's here, he's gonna create that reality. He's in the process of doing it now. I don't think he realizes it, but he is. He's going to create that reality for sure. You guys create whatever it is that makes you feel fulfilled while you're here. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Okay. Oh, Korean says, I'm surprised he hasn't yet. He actually has. That's what I've tried to show to him many a times. They come in different forms. He's looking, I think, for what he sees or has seen in the media. And they don't come like that all the time. I could be a Pleiadian here. What if I pulled off my face right now? Pulled off my mask. Y'all be like, woo, we knew it. We knew it all the time, right? You never know. Okay. Questions. You guys, this has been good. Now, are you guys feeling as if you are, most of you, first of all, most of you were aware of the parallel reality, right? We knew it. Like I said, in terms of Marvel and their movies and the comics, we sometimes know it to be fictitious or not real, but it really is real. I mean, for me, it is. Now, I can't say based on people's experiences or beliefs, maybe it's not. But I've had evidence of it because I've experienced it. That's what makes a person have a belief or a truth, their experience. Usually, if you experience it, you understand it, or believe it. So I want you guys, if you want to have the experience and you feel that you have it, I want you just to intentionally ask for the experience. Say, hey, I want to shift. I want to shift to a parallel reality. Let's go through these steps. Let me do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let me try this stuff Dawn said and see what happens. And I want you to do it without fear because nothing for you to be afraid of. You're only asking yourself to show you yourself in another reality. So it's nothing to be afraid of unless you're afraid of yourself. How about that? All right. Questions. Um, Empress says it's so funny because I used to keep my daughter's cash for her and I would hide it in a disc set from Carolyn Miss all about medical intuition. This heavenly guide reminded me of that. Oh, good. Synchronicities were coming very early on for you and your daughter. Excellent. All right, you guys have had experiences in the multiverse. I love it. You guys, if this information is assisting you or helping you, please make sure you click the like button. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, you guys, and it helps me to get this, increase the algorithm so that I can get this information out to a larger set of eyes. Okay, that's what we're trying to do here, get this information out to the collective. So please click that like button if you have not already. SB says, do you have any intuitive messages that can spark me getting to my desired reality and anything I'm missing? I was too late to the live readings. SB, we don't do those on here. This is a different setting and a different goal here on Mystical Monday. This is kind of like a classroom format. So no intuitive messages for this one. That's more or less on the reading. Sorry you missed it. Make sure you come next week. How about that? Okay. Questions? Any more questions? You guys have been so good. I've seen everybody's having experience in the multiverse before. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, all right. Okay. No questions. All right, now I want you guys to understand, I mentioned to you guys since the beginning of the year. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Corinne, for the super sticker. Appreciate it. Love, love, love it. I always forget about those little things. I always get excited when I see them because I forget that you can do that on YouTube. Um, for those of you who are interested, I want you guys to know that I'm going to talk about my class in a second, but I told you guys that since the beginning of the year, I have been doing more of just me giving you guys information versus having my guests like I've done in previous times, because I've been guided at the beginning of the year. Okay, Dawn, it's time to get to it. We got a lot of information to cover. We got a lot of things to do. We got a lot of things happening this year, and we need you to be focused and connected, and we need to work through you to the collective. And so that's what I've been doing each week. I've been coming on here with information that I'm getting divinely to share with you guys, because guess what? It ain't just happening to me. Things that are happening in my experience is going to happen, if not already, to you guys. And they're wanting me to share with the collective. So I want you guys to know I'm still going to bring guests at some point when I'm guided to. But for right now, this information is coming in hot and heavy every week. And so I'm giving it to you guys the way it's coming in. All right. So I want you guys to know that. And then, you guys, I have my intuitive guidance class. I just offered an additional date because the first class filled up. And then some people got on me. They were like, well, wait a minute, you didn't advertise it long enough. And we didn't know you were going to have small classes, or we would have moved quicker. And da, 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 da. So I said, okay, let me offer a second class. This second class is going to start March 7th. Well, wait a minute. Let me just let my students tell you about it.
Hi, if you want to be tapped in, tuned in, and turned on to your intuition, I highly recommend taking Dr. Don's intuition class. You will get hands-on exercises, homework, assignments in the real world, and her amazing knowledge. So I cannot say enough great things. I had a lot of aha moments, and I recommend this class to everyone.
This is just a video to say thank you for the intuition class. We spent 3 months together. You gave us a lot of great information. We learned how to tap into our senses, become more aware of who we are on our journey.
Hello, it's Dr. Dawn, and if you know anything about me, you know I'm all about intuition. It is absolutely positively no way for us as human beings to navigate on this planet and intentionally create the life that we desire without activating, tapping into, and utilizing our intuition. Make sure you sign up now. My classes are very intimate, meaning small, because I love to be able to connect with all of you on an individual basis. I look forward to seeing you. I'll see you in class. Bye-bye. Hey, all right. So just had to run that one more time for you guys. So just want to make sure that you guys know all about that, because again, my class sizes are small. I don't like 10 is too many for me. 8 is 6 is my perfect world. I love 6. So, but 8 is what I've had to go up to lately, and that's okay. I can make that work. But that just goes to show you it's not about the money, you guys, because I could fill this class up. It's about me getting connected to you guys individually. In these classes, I'm not only teaching you, but I'm teaching through to you, meaning I'm teaching with your guides. And a lot of time they're guiding me to you guys individually in the class with specific information that is directly applicable to you and you only. So that's why my class has to be small, because I'm dealing with spirit guides while I'm teaching you guys as well. So it's better when it's intimate. Okay. So if you're interested in that, make sure you go to my website, discoveringyourinnerlight.com, read all about the class, what it entails and all that good stuff, and make sure you register soon because, as I said, the class size is small, okay? All right, if you guys are interested in one-on-one spiritual coaching sessions, make sure you get over to that website and click on spiritual coaching session, and I'd love to see you for an hour and work with you and your guides, actually, and tell you what they're telling me to tell you to assist you on your journey. I love that. Love that. So make sure if you're interested in that, you go to the website and check that out. If there's nothing else, I'm going to see you guys next Monday, okay? We're going to be on Instagram live at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for some live spiritual readings. Then we're going to come on over here to YouTube at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have some more divinely guided topics, okay? For those watching the replay, please leave comments and questions below. I love, love, love to hear from you guys. And make sure, one more time for the people in the back, click the like button and subscribe if you have not already. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you guys, all the thanks in the chat. I love it. Until next week, I will see you guys. Keep going and make sure you guys sit down and connect, and let's shift and jump parallel to our parallel realities. I'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.